Veteran journalist Barbara Walters has not been seen in public for several years. Some tabloids suggest the 92-year-old is suffering from declining health. I personally think she's in hiding because she's embarrassed she created this show, The View. I know I would be mortified if I created a show where adults behave like wild animals on TV. Have a little look-see for yourself.
Rosie, big, fat, lesbian, loud Rosie, attacks innocent, pure Christian Elizabeth. I asked you if you believed what the Republican pundits were saying.
Did I say yes?
You said nothing, and that's cowardly.
No.
Nothing,
That is
Elizabeth.
not. Do not call me a coward, because number one, I sit here every single day, open my heart, and tell people exactly what I believe.
So do I, Elizabeth.
Do not call me a coward, Rosie. I do not hide. It was not cowardly. It was honest. What is cowardly? Is there no commercial in this show? I'll tell you what's cowardly. No. Asking a rhetorical question that you never answer yourself. That is cowardly.
Directing the show. Let's go to commercial.
I don't want to sit here. I don't want to sit here.
You're outraged about Muslims killing us on 9/11.
Let me just finish.
Yeah, but part of your job is to listen to me.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what's not going to happen today. We're not going to do this. Everybody gets a conversation piece. Everybody gets to say their piece, and we don't need to comment if we don't like what we're hearing. Just let folks talk.
Yeah.
So finish what you're saying.
I forgot what it was now.
It's not Barbara Walters' fault that The View turned out to be a liberal cesspool of garbage. When she hired the silly singing nun from Sister Act, Barbara Walters probably thought The View would get some comedic relief from the hard world we live in, but instead, the show found itself in a series of scandals from Whoopi's big mouth. And the target of the show's latest controversy isn't backing down. Newsmax's Mike Carter has the scoop. Let's watch.
Well, Turning Point USA holding a series of protest rallies on Thursday, starting in the morning outside of ABC Studios in Times Square, where Good Morning America is taped, and then their main enemy, The View, here on West 66th Street. Now a handful of protesters showing up, protesting something that Whoopi Goldberg said on Monday. She accused Turning Point of welcoming in neo-Nazi protesters at their rally in Tampa over the weekend. Turning Point, though, came out strongly against that statement, said they had no affiliation with those protesters. They were not welcomed into the building, as was alluded by Whoopi Goldberg. Goldberg and The View co-host issued a series of apologies, but most recently, Turning Point issued a cease and desist letter to ABC Studios. Here's a series of events as it unfolded this week.
The conservative group Turning Point USA has condemned the group of neo-Nazis and said they have nothing to do with the organization.
Yeah, but where was DeSantis is what I want to know.
But you let them in. You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit. So we want to make sure I know they were not in the building, but they were in the mix of people at the thing.
So on Monday, we talked about the fact that there were openly neo-Nazi demonstrators outside the Florida Student Action Summit of the Turning Point USA group. We want to make clear that these demonstrators were gathered outside the event and that they were not invited or endorsed by Turning Point USA.
And I talked to one Turning Point representative outside of ABC Studios this morning. Here's what she said about Whoopi Goldberg's comments.
She absolutely did not apologize. In fact, I really feel like she doubled down more so on what she said by saying that it was, okay, so we didn't invite the Nazis in, but we metaphorically invited them to, and that was just simply not the case. It was protesters outside the event that were uninvited by us. They were unaffiliated. They were protesting. They didn't like what we were doing.
And Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, talking about a proposed lawsuit against The View and ABC, saying this, talking to lawyers, many think we have a strong case. You cannot smear minors as Nazis and get away with it. It impacts them for the rest of their life. So with the threat of a potential lawsuit looming earlier today on The View, Whoopi Goldberg had this to say.
Welcome back. You know, in Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Turning Point USA, primarily made up of high school and college conservatives from across the country. Nearly 5,000 of them were at this past weekend's rally in Tampa. In New York, for Newsmax, I'm Mike Carter.
All right, well, to break down that load of hogwash, let's bring in the man himself, the founder of Turning Point USA, to discuss a little further. He's also the author of The College Scam, How America's Universities Are Bankrupting and Brainwashing Away the Future of America's Youth. Charlie Kirk, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you. Honored to be here. And what a wonderful package you guys put together. Thank you.
Yeah, well, listen, I want to get your perspective on it, but I was kind of really wondering as I'm watching this, like Whoopi Goldberg is saying, well, I know who was there. How the heck does she know anything of who was there sitting on her perch on Madison Avenue or wherever that studio is? She wasn't there.
No, she wasn't.
We're gonna get to your book. I've been looking at some of the comments. It looks awesome. I want to talk to you about it. But I do want to get your reaction to the View smearing your organization like this and the thousands of young patriots who attended Turning Point's Student Action Summit last weekend. Tell me this. Number one, do you accept Whoopi's apology?
I mean, it's like a half apology, but I'm not the person to ask because she didn't smear me. She smeared our students. So they're the ones that you got to ask. I mean, look, I'm not going to stop fighting for my students. And look, I mean, I understand the heart to, you know, let's say the intent to offer an apology. All right, after the third or fourth time, after they're forced under lawyer pressure to do that. But look, it's really about our students. And that's why we acted so forcefully with this. You know, you should not be able to go after minors and smear them as Nazis and get away with it. And it was only until we sent a cease and desist letter did we actually get an apology. Think about that. I think it's more about, please forgive me because I don't want to be Nicholas Sandman than if I'm really sorry. So look, I'm not one to I'm not going to judge people's motives. I doubt them with Whoopi Goldberg, but you're going to have to ask our students because she targeted them at the core.
Sounds like one of those half-hearted relationship I'm sorry's. I'm sorry I got you mad. I'm not sorry for what I said about you. It's just I'm sorry you got mad about it. But you tweeted an absolutely alarming video of the cowards the media framed as conservatives. We want to help put the truth out there. Let's show our viewers some of this video and then get your response.
Plants. Yeah, 100% plants. And you're hiding. That's all you are. You're not fooling anybody. You're not fooling anybody. I'm the one fighting against you with my face wide open.
George Soros told me to come here.
If you're so proud, take that mask off. Stop hiding. Take it off. Come on. Nobody gives a about it. Show us who you are. Nobody gives a
Hey, Charlie, what do you want people to know about these cowards who protested outside your event?
I don't think they're legitimately Nazis. I think they're paid Democrat operatives. I have some evidence to believe that. We're dedicating a lot of resources in conjunction with Greg Phillips, who did some of the data research behind 2,000 Mules, to find out if there were cell phone pings that could potentially be coordinated with that. But look, there's 5 or 6 reasons why I believe that. One of which is look at those flags in the B-roll right now, perfectly folded up as if they've never been released before, as if they were just bought on some sort of a website. DeSantis country, really? Can you be a little bit more clear that this is a Democrat op to try to go after the Florida governor's race? They didn't show their face. And also they all happen to just kind of come prancing on by 5 minutes after the liberal protest ended. Very suspicious. After the Glenn Youngkin Lincoln Project op that we saw in Virginia, I don't buy this at all. And I hope that we'll be able to find the information. The last thing I'll say is this. The media couldn't care less. The media didn't want to find their identities. All they wanted was the headline. Have you ever seen a circumstance where the media has not been interested in trying to find out who Nazis actually are?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievably suspicious. And I plan to find the identity of these people and publicize it. And if I'm wrong, then it was Nazis and they're scum. If I'm right, then it's leftists pretend to be Nazis and they're more than scum.
Yeah, well, you got that one right, my friend. All right, we gave the Wicked Witches of the View enough airtime tonight. I can't talk about any Joy Behar or Whoopi Goldberg this late without having nightmares. You know, let's talk about your book, which is a phenomenal thing. I got 2 daughters in college, 1 son headed to college, and I read some of the reviews of it. I heard an interview with you the other day, but there's your book right there. Everybody out there, you got to go get this, and you got to buy this book because, you know, a lot of successful people have college degrees, and, you know, you're trying to convince viewers that college is a scam, which I somewhat agree with you. You got my attention because you wouldn't make a bold statement like that without doing a lot of research, having a lot of facts. Tell the people out there why it is a scam for some people.
Yeah, look, I wrote this book from a persuasive standpoint. It's a 10-count indictment going after the college cartel. Let's just start with the number that makes everyone's jaw drop. 40% of people that enroll in for your college drop out. 40%. And that alone shows we have too many people going to college, not to mention the average student loan debt, the woke ideas, and then another 41% of the people that end up graduating, if they go get a job, which is a big if, they get a job in a career or a field that does not require a college degree. So why'd they go in the first place? So 40% drop out and 40% of the graduate pool ends up getting a job that did not require those 4 years of woke indoctrination to happen altogether. Not to mention the endowments. $200 billion tax-free endowment in Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, and they do not help at all with tuition. That's just a little bit of the taste what we go in the book, The College Scam.
Yeah, where else can a kid with no income get an unsecured loan for $200,000? I don't know, but a professor at UCLA is calling himself a refugee from mainstream higher education after quitting because woke culture ruined academic life on his campus. People are really getting sick of the woke culture. What advice do you have for young people who do want to keep learning and want to succeed, but don't want to be scammed and don't want to be forced into a woke bubble? What could they do, Charlie?
Well, look, commit yourself to learning. There's more information available than ever before. We've partnered with Hillsdale College, like the only good college left. They can go to charlieforhillsdale.com. You can listen to our podcast. We have educational videos at Turning Point USA. And there's an unlimited amount of resources out there thanks to technology. I'm not a big fan of what technology does in a lot of different senses right now, but that's one good thing of technology. I mean, if you decide to take learning seriously, you can learn more than ever before in the history of humanity. You don't need to go to college to do it.
I tend to agree with you, my friend, in those vocational programs and stuff. A lot of kids should be looking at that and not wasting their time in college. Charlie Kirk, thank you for being here, and thank you for everything you do, my man.
Great. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group, but first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373. 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.